Hey everyone, I'm here doing a voiceover video today. Bit out of my nature, but I thought I might as well because I didn't want to stream this one. Let me know what you guys think and what I can improve, if you like this format, if I should do more of it. I don't know if I will. But yeah, moving on. Here I've got the K8 by Keychron. Pretty solid build. It's got some aluminum frames. Overall, a really solid case, but we can do better. First up, we got the Acco switches. They are the CS Ocean Blues, a light tactile. I'd say the bump is similar to Holy Pandas. They are sharp enough, but still a little bit soft. Now onto lubing the switches, I used Tribosis 3203. Here's a scuffed montage of me trying to showcase the lubing, but the angle's a bit off. Some of the shots could have been better, but I'm still new to this. To sum it up, I lubed the side of the rails, around the pole on the inside, and also the leaf. Moving on to the springs, bag lubed them with 105 GPL oil. Now onto the stem. Once again, the angle and focus is a bit off, and the lighting was a bit off as well. Pretty much I lubed everything except for the legs. And then I did a bit of the stem pole, very thin lube, didn't want to lose any of that tactility. I didn't lube the top housing, you can if you want to, and then onto assembling the switch. Don't forget the scientific tapping method. That was kind of scuffed. Okay, moving on, we are removing the side metal frames now. Not gonna lie, I was kind of worried I didn't have the hex screw, but luckily the Xiaomi kit did come with the right one. You can see here after removing the screws, the side panel comes right off. Don't forget to do the other side, that way you can slide off the top two pieces just like this. Moving on to the rest of the build, we are taking off the keycaps, and you can see underneath we have Cherry MX Browns. I like to call these little poo-poo switches. Honestly, they're not that bad, they're just not for me. So there are 12 standoff screws, and you'll need to take them off completely. Just a quick note, I did forget to take off the bottom right standoff. There is one there, so don't forget to take that one off. That's how you access the PCB. You can see here there's like a JST cable, just take that out. Mine was a bit of effort, but it will come out. Now that we have the PCB, onto desoldering the switch. Desoldering switches is a mighty task. If you have a gun, it'll be easy. If you have a solder sucker, make sure you have a good quality one or your life will be hard. I learned that the hard way. There are plenty of desoldering videos out there, but what I'm doing here is sometimes the stock solder is stubborn, so you need to add some solder of your own to get it out more easily. So this is the tedious part, but rinse and repeat until all the switches are finally off. After desoldering, you are left with a batch of switches. Now you can either throw these away, sell them, or use them to make different kinds of switches. Whatever you want. They are yours to begin with. You're also left with the plate and a bare PCB. Now we can go ahead to the next step, which is stabilizers. Now here's where the video gets kind of scuffed. I went on to film the next day and obviously the lighting has changed. Hopefully it doesn't affect it too much. And I hope you guys still enjoy the video. So you saw me just then pointing out two of these little clips. You want to push them and then lift up the stabilizers. These are plate mount, there are no screws, so they're quite easy to take off. So I'll actually be swapping out the stabilizers as the K8 stabs actually came pre-lubed. In saying this, at the time of building I couldn't get any Everglide plate mounts, which is the gold standard these days, so I ended up just getting another pair of cherry plate mounts, which did the trick, but they're still not great, and you can hear that in the final result. So the exact same way they came out is the exact same way they go in. Nothing too hard here. There are plenty of videos out there on how to lube and tune your stabilizers. I did the simple clip the stem, 205G zero housing, and BDZ on the wires. Now we're nearing the final stages of the build. Grab your now tuned switches and push them into the plate accordingly. Keep in mind the Keychron K8 is south facing, so insert these upside down if you have the same one. Now grab your PCB and align it to the plate accordingly and push the two lightly together. After doing this, make sure to check for any bent pins, and if there are none, off to soldering you go. For soldering, I don't have much to say. It's pretty straightforward, and I encourage you guys to do research on how to solder before you do this, obviously. I would say try and do the corners first, that way the PCB stays in place, and make sure your switches are seated correctly. So as scuffed as I am at this, I forgot to record this section. What happened was I foamed up the board with some spare foam. I put some tape over the foam as well as some PE foam. I know that sounds like a lot, but it does help as the case is quite empty. Almost there guys, I promise. Because of the tape we added and the nature of the standoffs, we do need to poke holes into the tape, and I did that with a screwdriver. So next up, make sure you line the USB-C with the cutout of the case, as well as make sure the switch tabs are in the right orientation accordingly to the PCB. Go back in with the 12 standoff screws that we removed earlier, as well as the top and the bottom aluminum frames. Make sure you grab the side ones and screw those in as well. So the person I'm building this for picked out the HK Gaming Keycaps in the canvas colorway. They're a PBT set and honestly, not bad quality. On another note as well, I forgot to mention before, please check the PCB after you solder the switches. You don't want to reassemble without testing to realize it doesn't work, just to take it apart again. Now that we are all done, I think you guys know what is next. Thank you guys for watching and let me know what you guys think. Feel free to subscribe, like or dislike or comment what you liked or you didn't. I'm taking all types of feedback. If you're still watching from the beginning, I really appreciate it. And yeah, I will shut up now. See ya.